Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. I'm, in the spirit of what we're doing over the last couple of weeks, we've been interviewing amazing people from the villages, living in the villages, doing amazing things. And my guest today, Joy Butler, you're here.
Hi.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks. Thank you for having me.
So, Joy, we've known each other for several years now.
Yes, we have.
And you just corrected me. Joy has been doing incredible volunteer work, working with not St. Jude's, St. Jude.
Exactly.
Right? And also
Yes.
there's been a little bit of a name change. Tell me.
To our club.
What's our official, tell us about that.
Okay, the club's new name
Yes.
is St. Jude Friends in Hope.
That?
Yeah.
All right, so how long has the club been in existence?
The club has been in existence for about 6 years.
Okay.
And we really didn't, we did it at the beginning because we needed a place to meet. And so you can only do that if you're a club or having a big event of some kind. So we decided we'd go ahead and form a club, and we really didn't really use the club and develop it for what it was for until about between 2 and 3 years ago.
Okay.
And now we have over 150 members.
Wow.
And all the people that are in it just want to help, volunteer, work at some of the events, and it's just a marvelous. We only have 4 meetings a year.
Right.
And about every couple of months. We don't meet through the summer.
Where do you meet?
We meet right now at Moyer Loop, Rec Center.
Okay, got it.
We're hoping when you were first become a club, and we had to change the name, so that kind of made us look like a new club. You have to wait in the villages for 6 months, and if everything's still going right and everything, then you can schedule your meetings at a bigger place. So that's kind of what we're hoping happens soon.
How do you join? I mean, can anybody join?
Sure. What we need is just their email address.
Got it.
And as soon as they send the email address, then we start sending them. That's how we communicate in the club. And so we start sending them all the schedule of the events and the meetings and the things that we need help in. And once in a while, we'll get something that is just came up and somebody wants to do something for us and use St. Jude as the benefactor, and so we will email everybody in the club.
Excellent.
Yeah, and so that's how we do it. But we just need to have the email.
How do they find you? Like somebody watching this, if they want to join the cause?
Well, right. Okay. What they need to do is email. Me would probably be the best, which is very simple. P as in Paris, AUT as in Tom, LR at AOL.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
And they can email me, and my husband and I are kind of the co-chairman of the club, and so both of us send out things, but my husband does most of the sending out, so I'm always giving him names for people that have contacted me or have been to an event and so forth, like yourself.
I love it. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that because that's coming up soon, right?
Yes.
So when's that? Tell everybody when that.
Okay. We have several events during the year, smaller ones, but love them all. And we actually had to turn a few down because we had so many, and all businesses and the people around the villages everybody knows St. Jude. So we've had a lot of people want to do stuff, and it's great, but we don't want to flood, the market with stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So our biggest event is coming up. It is April 30th and May 1st. Are both days is a golf outing. We used to say tournament, but it's really not a tournament of any kind. I mean, we always do a winner. And the winner gets patient art of St. Jude. It's not like the $1 million tournaments or anything. April 30th and May 1st at Mallory.
Right.
And then we skip a day to get ready and everything. And so Sunday night then, which is May 3rd, is our big gala auction. And you don't have to play golf to come to that.
Right. Like us, yeah.
Right. But there are people, if you buy a ticket, or I should say, if you enter into the tournament, then your fee also covers your dinner.
Got it.
On Sunday.
So you could play golf, you can volunteer, you can sponsor a table, right? You can do that. You can you can have a sign. We have sponsorship for businesses out there.
Yeah,
right?
We have whole signs, of course, and then we also have a thing that we're very proud of and very fun, and businesses love it because they can display it in their office or in their place of business, and it's called the ABCs of Cancer, and at St. Jude, they took every letter of the alphabet, and they gave it to a patient. And the patient used that letter and drew a picture of it and stuff, and used that letter and said what that letter started with that would remind them of what they've gone through.
Yes.
C was chemo, and, we had several, and of course, now these are little kids, a lot of them. So they had, P was for puke, because that's what they did all the time when, and they just, of course, they're not afraid of anything. And so we sell those signs also. And then the person who has bought that takes that back, and they can. So there's
tons of opportunities to get involved. Just connect with Joy on that if you're interested, for sure. Definitely a great way to get involved with the community. Now, how did you get involved?
Well, 28 years ago, we actually lost a son who was treated at St. Jude, and we will never be able to repay what they did. We weren't as lucky as most people are now. He actually had the most common form of childhood cancer, which is acute lymphoblastic leukemia. And at that time, they were saving 70%. When they started the hospital in 1962, they were only saving 4% of the children.
Wow.
And when we were there in 89, 90, 91, they were saving 70. Now today, because of all of the wonderful contributions and people sending in their money all the time, and the big businesses that you see having the St. Jude sign, they are saving 96% of every child that comes in there.
That's so important to know. I don't know that I ever knew those statistics. We've been involved for many years.
Yeah.
I feel like, you want to know that there's some impact and some advancements, and that's obviously a metric and a statistic that shows that there are some advancements.
And then I don't know if any of the listeners or the people around the villages had seen this, but St. Jude developed just a couple months ago, I believe, and had it on TV and everything. They developed the cure for the bubble boy. And
tells Bubble Boy. Okay.
That was that we've seen that where the child has to be in a like a bubble, and only it's like a plastic thing, but they can't get out because they have no immune system.
Right.
So I think there's been TV shows and a movie or something about it. Yeah. So they've been working on this for a long time, and St. Jude would never publish anything like that unless they've really had success with it. So they started this, and from what I know, the story goes that they found a treatment, and they would treat the kids with this protocol that they had at the hospital, and it always cured the bubble disease, but it gave them leukemia. So then they had So then they had to figure out a way to make sure that they could. Of course, they've been curing leukemia anyway, but it's it was a double whammy. And all of a sudden, they've been working on that, and they came up with something else, and they now can cure it, and they with no leukemia. And they have now, there has been, I believe, the first 12 that they did. It's tried to see if this new stuff would work, and every one of them was 100%.
Incredible. Now, there's also some. I think we were talking about this a couple weeks back. There's like some relationship to Alzheimer's?
Alzheimer's. Yes, sir.
What do you know about that?
Well, I don't know a lot about it. I just know because they haven't released a lot of things.
Right.
But they are working, and they're having some success with some of the things they're figuring out and treatments and that sort of thing with Alzheimer's, which is a wonderful thing. And we're all excited, hoping that that works. So, St. Jude, when they figure out a treatment, they patent it first. And we said, why do you do that? And they said, because we don't want any of the drug companies or anybody to get a hold of that. What they do is they publish it to the world.
Right.
And so
they're sharing. Right.
They're sharing, but they don't want the drug companies to get it first.
Right. Makes sense.
So so they are big into that. So all over the world, they publish everything that they get. It is an incredible place. We were able, St. Jude, the Children's Hospital in Memphis, loves the Villages, and they had 22 of us come up there and visit the hospital and have tours and
I've heard that's an amazing. Well, you were up there like a month or two ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there were, like I say, there was 20. There was only a picture of about 10 of us, but there was about 22.
Yeah.
And I've been. My husband is. It's good enough I'm very proud of him that he's on the national board.
Yeah.
But so we're up there a lot, and I've been to the hospital a lot. I've had a lot of different tours, but I've never had one like they gave the Villages. So it was just amazing. Incredible. And everybody, lots of my friends that were going said, oh, I'm scared. It's going to be sad. And I'm going to see all these little bald kids, and I'm so scared.
Yeah.
And not a person said that on the way after we were there, and we talked to everybody, and they all said, oh, it's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And you learn so much that St. Jude does. In fact, Tuesday is our third of the 4 meetings that we have a year.
Okay.
This coming Tuesday, and we are having a speaker from the hospital, and she had a little girl who was a patient, and she didn't make it either. But this lady now works for St. Jude, and what she's going to do is to tell us all these things that St. Jude does for the families and for the siblings and all that, not just the patient. And that's who she works with now, are families.
Wow.
They do incredible things. They have a school and right there, and they call the school that the child goes to, make sure they have all the right books, and they have teachers there, so they can keep up.
Amazing.
And also with siblings, there are kids that come there from other countries, and they stay for a couple 3 years, and of course, so that maybe 1 or 2 siblings are with them. Wow. And so they do the same for them. Wow. It's just amazing.
Wow. Well, it's like it's being unselfish, but for selfish reasons, right? Like there's always a little bit of a mix, and nobody's completely unselfish, but you're trying to do some good, so you can feel good about what you're doing, but also help other people. So it's a big cycle, isn't it?
Yeah, we've been in on several things. We have, of course, we know several doctors up there. And then one of them actually went to school with my son.
Oh, right.
And that's why she's there.
Wow.
And we're hoping, and we have her scheduled to be the speaker at our...
What? That's...
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so anyway, she's just phenomenal. And she had a quick story about a little girl who was in Jamaica. And she had retinoblastoma, which is behind the eye and so forth. And so the people in Jamaica where they live, they tried to do stuff, and of course the doctors they don't know how to do these sort of things, and they haven't been trained or shown any of that stuff. And so the doctor that they found there said, we can't do anything for her at all, and it'll spread everywhere, and if we do get chemo in here, we won't get it until it's over time when you should have it.
Wow.
So someone told the mother that they should call St. Jude, And they did. And got the doctor that I told you about, just happened to answer the phone and in her office. And the mother told her what the problem was. And my sweetie doctor said, "Oh, I can fix that.
Nice.
Get on a plane and get here.
That's right.
We can fix it."
Wow.
And she's perfectly fine. She is 4 now, and she was 2, and she just looks fantastic. And her parents, everybody, of course, moved to Memphis because they had to be there for 2 or 3 years for the treatment.
Of course.
And then they had another baby while they were there.
Wow.
And there was all kinds of, I mean, the little girl is just amazing. So they do amazing things.
There's so many stories.
There are.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. As you can tell, I can tell you stories. I could tell you stories for the rest of the night.
I love it. I love it. Well, look, Joy, anything else you want to say? But
no, just get a hold of us. And again, my email is pautler@AOL. And if you're interested in the club or helping at all in different things, we try to find things for people, but we have so many that want to help us, which is a great problem to have.
Of course.
But anyway, give us a call, or you can show up at the meeting.
Yes.
On Tuesday morning at 9:45.
Perfect.
And it's at the Moyer Loop Rec Center.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you guys, if you didn't catch that, you can also call here at the office, Realty Executives Office, 753-7500, 753-7500. Joy?
Well, I have to tell you, before we get done, Realty Executives have been incredible to us, and we appreciate everything they do, and they're always there to help us with the golf tournament and with sponsorships, and we are just so grateful to you.
100% our pleasure, and it's going to be a great event coming up.
We're hoping. We think it's going to be wonderful.
Joy, yes, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome.